right, Michelle Obama is arguably one of the most powerful and influential people in the Democratic Party, and her name has even been floated to replace President Biden on the 2024 ticket. However, she reportedly will not be campaigning for Joe Biden, even though he could use all the help he can get. According to Axios, Michelle Obama is declining to campaign for Biden, quote, over how the Biden family largely exiled her close friend Kathleen Buhle after Buhle's messy divorce from Hunter Biden. Now, remember, she testified in the trial recently and talked about how Hunter got her hooked on crack and so on and so forth. But apparently, Michelle Obama and Kathleen are good friends.
Yeah. I mean, look, Barack Obama reportedly said that the Biden family dynamic was weird as you know what.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter Biden left his wife, slept with his sister-in-law, who happened to be the widow of his dead brother. That is weird as you know what. And the wife happened to be a friend of Michelle Obama's. I think she will probably speak at the DNC. I think she will. But for Democrats, they need to get over Michelle Obama, I think. They use her as an avatar for him, right? Because Biden is a disaster. They wish Obama was president again, but he's constitutionally barred from being president. So she becomes the way to get the Obama magic back. She doesn't like politics. She's not interested in it. I don't think she's ever going to do that.
Martha.
I agree. I think this dynamic of the Kathleen Buhle thing, I mean, you know, who needs a soap opera when you have this story is so crazy, as you point out. And I think it's really interesting. You know, this is the behind the scenes stuff that you don't hear about, that they were close, that she's offended that the family embraced Hunter after all of this. And, you know, so she's had enough. And I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing in her that displays that she wants back in.
Yeah.
There really isn't. I mean, I think she loves doing her podcast and her books and all of that, but I don't see a hunger to be president of the United States.
So, Tammy, a representative of Michelle Obama told the New York Post that she backed Biden's reelection campaign, and she is also friends with Kathleen. Both are true.
You know, I don't like the Obamas. This makes me appreciate Michelle Obama a bit more because it wasn't whatever I need to do for the cause. Mm-hmm. This is a friend, a loyalty, a disgust with what happened. And so that's what matters right now. I like that. That's the kind of thing where you just don't throw people away or those values don't matter and you're not going to go to town in this regard. It could also be easier because they see the problems with him and they just don't really want to be there. And Barack Obama bragged when he was first elected, I should say when Biden was elected, that that there was like 90% of the staff, of his staff, was still going to be with Biden. So when we think about another Obama term, I think we've had it. And it has not worked.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I like her stand on this.
Yes. Mark Thiessen and I have a running joke of we always mention Taylor Swift when he's on the show. So I'm going to use this opportunity to do this.
Here we go.
Outside of having Taylor Swift as my surrogate, if I'm a Democrat, the second person I would want out there is Michelle Obama. Yep. Michelle Obama, let this sink in, has not done one post about Biden's reelection, save reposting his announcement. Melissa Winter, one of her aides, has met with Anita Dunn to talk about ways she can be engaged. I would want her engaged, but when asked if she'd speak at the DNC per Axios, they did not comment. I would want her at the DNC. I'd want Taylor Swift. I'd give them both premier speaking spots.
Well, if your brand is that you're consistent, that can't ever hurt you.
No, that's exactly
right.
And
they can't misquote what you don't say.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.